to me.
Welcome to Wrestle Rant HD, America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. You are in the place where we get in your face about professional wrestling each and every week, and it's not going to be any different this week. I'm your host, Angelo Demetris, and I would like to say thank you for not only making this show America's #1 professional wrestling rant show, but for making the wrestlerant HD Facebook page America's #1 professional wrestling rant Facebook page. Keep doing that each and every day, every week. That page is just for you, and me, of course, the professional wrestling fan. Now, I want to throw this out there right away before I go any further with the program. Recently, on the wrestlerant HD Facebook page, there was a rebuttal by someone who said, I don't think that the Brock Lesnar story is over. I don't think Brock Lesnar quit. I think Brock is staying. I think it's a work. So what do we do here at wrestlerant HD when something like that happens? Do we delete the statement off the wrestlerant HD Facebook page? No, we don't. It stands. Why? Because the wrestlerant HD Facebook page was made for a fan like you. You've got an opinion, you've got a voice, and it needs to be heard. If you think I'm wrong about something, write it on there. If you've got an opinion about professional wrestling, write it on there. This isn't the WWE. We're not going to take your signs away. We're not going to take your voice away. No, wrestlerant HD is here to give you your voice. And if you think we're wrong about something, by all means, say so. Nobody's taking signs away from here, Vince McMahon. We give to the people. We don't take from them. Now, moving right along. Alright. Got to touch on the Eve character. Now, this character is certainly original, and it's certainly something cooked up by WWE creative staff to try to increase Eve's heel image. You see, Eve in the past was not someone that you paid attention to in the Divas division. I mean, except for the obvious reasons. But other than that, talent-wise, Eve was not someone who you talked about every week and said, man, did you see what Eve did? Did you hear what Eve said? Nobody, and I mean nobody, talks about that, okay? But let me say this. Eve has really kicked it up. I mean, the evilness in her character, the way she just makes you believe that she could be that evil, and probably is. Who knows? I don't know this person in real life. But I can tell you this. Eve is certainly on her way to being something more than just a WWE diva, and will be remembered for far greater than what she was in the ring in the past. Alright, I got a huge bone to pick. I am sick and tired of The Miz being passed up. And for goodness sakes, you jobbed him to Brodus Clay? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts, WWE creative? Miz is not a jobber. Miz is a $1 million happening. I love Mike the Miz Mizanin. Why? Because he's the Miz, and he's awesome. Hey, you can disagree with that if you want to, but I'm a diehard Miz fan till the end. If you want to call me a misfit, call me that too. Don't job the Miz. Alright. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, as we did earlier, how many of you were shocked at the presence of Paul Heyman at Monday Night Raw in the ring. I was tremendously shocked. I mean, I've seen a lot of things coming on that show, but never saw that coming. Paul Heyman came out there to discuss Brock Lesnar's quitting. Now, many of you think it's a work. I happen to think that it's not a work. We're going to find out if we're right or wrong in the next several weeks to come. Paul Heyman came out declaring Brock Lesnar's newly found unemployment with World Wrestling Entertainment. Is it fact or is it fiction? Is it kayfabe or is it truth? We're going to find out in the coming weeks. By the way, Paul, I don't care about your receding hairline. You are probably, since Jimmy Hart and Bobby the Brain Heenan, the most talented mouthpiece since managers from the 80s. I still remember you as Paul E. Dangerously with the cell phone. Paul Heyman, I am one of your biggest fans, not only as a promoter, but as a mouthpiece in this business. You go, Paul Heyman. This is America's #1 professional wrestling rant show, Wrestle Rant HD. Don't you go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your motivational rant. How you young puppies doing out there? Good. This here is your motivational rant. Now, some of you are saying, we don't need any motivation. We get enough from Angelo Demetrius every week. Well, I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. Now, the one thing you gotta remember about professional wrestling is that you are somebody trying to be somebody else. But I got news for you. If you don't get your character down bad, you're gonna be on Friday Night SmackDown jobbing to Brodus Clay. Now, many of you think that professional wrestling is fun. But I'm here to tell you, when you're running all the way down to that ring, you're gonna change your mind once you get in there and that bell rings. You see, it's more than just flying off the ropes and going into the turnbuckle. Matter of fact, oh, I can tell you some stories that have gone wrong. Now, you don't want to be like Alex Riley. Where's Mr. Riley now? Last time I seen him, he was, let me think about this, oh yeah, he was jobbing to Brodus Clay on Friday Night SmackDown. Alright, now, how many of you can tell me what the future of Jack Swagger is? Come on, I don't hear anything. Jobbing to Brodus Clay on Friday Night SmackDown. Jeez, it is hot in here. I gotta have a seat. Oh boy. Don't laugh, because if you laugh at me, I'm gonna move in with you ham and eggers, because I don't want to be jobbing to Brodus Clay on Friday Night SmackDown. America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. I'm your host, Angelo Demetrius. Now, I told you over the past couple of weeks that the WWE had no choice but to bring back tag teams, a staple in professional wrestling. They're doing just that. Give yourselves a hand clap because they are listening to you, the professional wrestling fan. You want to see tag team wrestling, and that's exactly what WWE is doing. Santino Marella and Zack Ryder, Cobra. Look, I don't know what that's about, but I know that no one has named Kofi Kingston and R-Truth yet. Somebody needs to. Regardless, tag team wrestling is coming back in a big way, and I'm happy. Why? Because I love tag team wrestling. I miss the Steiner brothers. I miss the Brain Busters, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, Demolition, Legion of Doom. The list goes on and on and on. Tag team wrestling is one of the single most important things, no pun intended, in professional wrestling. It's what makes professional wrestling interesting. It's called a special attraction. And without these special attractions, wrestling, WWE, TNA, whoever, wouldn't have anything to bring us back with. I mean, not just the Divas guys, come on. But anyway, speaking of professional wrestling, tag team professional wrestling, that is, my favorite tag team as of late, that's right here on wrestlerant HD, I'm going to name them Millions of Dollars. That's right, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. One of my favorite tag teams, next to the Usos, in the WWE is late. Now, I'm not saying I see tag team gold in their future or anything, but I am saying this. The characters gel well together. Their wrestling style in the ring, somewhat unorthodox, but it is new and it fits this era. And I really like it. I really like the tag team of Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. Well, unfortunately, that's it for this week's edition of wrestlerant HD. Hey, if something else interesting goes on in professional wrestling, let's hope it happens next week or these shows will get shorter and shorter, okay? Anyway, I'm your host, Angelo Demetrius, hoping that you will join me right back here next week for wrestlerant HD. Information and entertainment all in one box. Where else you gonna get it, folks? Right here. So, for right now, I'm Angelo Demetrius, saying I'm going to see you next week. And in the words of my favorite tag team, I hope you run into millions of dollars, 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 millions of dollars.